Donnie sits at the table eating a bowl of instant ramen. Goon chews on a bone beside him. He wraps a string of steaming noodles around his fork and lifts it toward his mouth. Anthony suddenly bursts through the front door, slamming it shut behind him. Donnie and the goon dog Saint stare at Ant, who's barely standing and breathing heavily. The string of noodles fall from the fork, splashing back into the broth. "You okay, man?" Anthony hunches over, leaning on his knees and gasping for air. "What happened? Time for 40s?" He locks the door. "Shit, I wish. Time for 45's more like it, brother." Donnie continues with his meal. "What'd she do this time?" Ant laughs oddly. "Called the cops." Donnie drops his fork. "Did you run from the cops?" "Shit, no. The cop's dead, Donnie." "Did you kill the cop?" "It wasn't me, homeboy." Ant rises and steps closer. Donnie subconsciously recoils away. "You sure? You go into rages when you're drunk, man." Anthony backs up, showing his open palms. "Look, Votto, I'm gonna tell you something and it's gonna sound absolutely insane." Donnie nods. "Okay, I'm listening. What's up?" "It was a monster, Don. No bullshit. A little demon vampire thing ripped Officer Lucas' throat out." "You're on shrooms, right?" Ant slides his back down the door until he's sitting on the floor, cupping his head in his hands, knees to elbows. "If only, homie." Fog begins seeping inside. It was awful. Blood spurts and splintered bones. The kid with those jet black eyes. Fucking unreal, terrifying shit. Donnie nods his head while slurping soup. "I don't understand what you're talking about." "Stuff of nightmares, A soft knock echoes from the door. Anthony's eyes fill with terror as he looks back. A second knock gets Donnie's full attention. After a tense few seconds, the third knock makes Anthony crawl away. They both watch and wait. A familiar voice eventually calls out to them. "Open up, Donnie, it's brass monkeys out here." Donnie tilts his head in confusion. "Hugh, that you, old man?" "It's me. The coat I bought wasn't good enough to fight this chill. Let me in, will ya?" Anthony grabs Donnie's wrist, pulling it forcefully. "It's not him, Donnie. Believe you me, that ain't Hugh." Donnie pulls his wrist free. "Hugh, how did you know where I live? I never told you." Silence. The creaking of the stairs can be heard outside. The window behind them cracks suddenly in a vivid spider web. A child's laughter follows from the front door. "Hello? I need help!" Anthony recognizes the voice. "No! Go away! You can't come in!" Donnie looks to Ant, then stands and slowly makes his way toward the door. "Who's there? Hugh? Who's with you?" "I'm lost and cold. Please let me in. I need to use your phone." Ant rushes up, grabbing Donnie's shoulder. "Don't listen, that's no child." Donnie pulls away, pressing his palm against the frame. "How did you get out here?" "I was abandoned. Please let me in." His unnatural voice causes Donnie to fall back and move to the side window, pulling open the curtains and looking out. The child waits on his dilapidated steps. Its hooded head slowly turns, and in a few swift movements he's standing at the window, staring up at Donnie with his midnight eyes. He knocks gently on the glass. "I think you should let me in." Donnie shrinks back. The kid's head turns until his gaze lands on Anthony. He smiles with charcoal teeth. He knows what'll happen if you don't. "Get the strap, Donnie." The kid looks to Donnie. "I'll let you go if you don't interfere." The BEK's face begins morphing into a demon as it slips into the darkness. Donnie notices the others all around, a horde of people on the road and fence line. One nimbly sprints across the rooftop of the neighbor's trailer. Ant is busy taking practice swings. His branch cuts through the air like a whip. "I seen what that thing can do, yo." Donnie turns in disbelief. "It's just a kid. This is a prank, right?" "This ain't no prank. We about to die, homie. Savagely die." The doorknob clicks loudly. They both turn and watch as its lock slowly turns, unlocking. The deadlock follows suit. "What the f***, man?" "I know, right?" The child's laughter slips past the creaking open door. A low wall of fog floods in, moving as if it has a mind of its own. Standing under the light of the porch is the monstrous, transformed child. It breathes rapidly and stretches its claws. Everyone is frozen as seconds tick by. An invitation would have been nice. "Okay, you can use my phone." Goon dog growls, whimpering at their feet. "Get him, Goon!" Anthony nudges the cowering dog. Goon bolts past the black-eyed kid and out the door. "No, dumb dog, bad Goon dog." The kid screeches like a bobcat, closing the distance instantaneously. Anthony steps forward and swings, but the child bobs under his attack, pouncing on him. Ant yowls, crashing into the table, his branch falling to the floor. The kid's claws tear through his shirt, digging deep into his chest. Ant struggles with one hand around its throat, desperately trying to keep its gnashing jaws from his face. Blood flows freely from Ant's wounds. A thin stream of translucent drool spills out onto his tattooed arm. Donnie deliberates fight or flight. He chooses to fight and grabs the cactus tree branch. "Back off, puto!" A powerful swing from Donnie cracks the kid square in the ribs. He's sent flying into the darkened hallway. Donnie gives Ant a hand, pulling him to his feet. Ant retrieves a dented pan from the counter. "What the f*** is that thing?" It slowly emerges from the dark, crawling low to the ground, moving like some kind of primordial predator. Donnie and Anthony both withdraw. It bum rushes them, clamping its jaws tight on Donnie's forearm. He screams out in pain. Ant steps in, driving the pan into the back of its head. The thing reluctantly releases Donnie, knocking him to the ground. It squares up with Anthony. Rage fills his face. He releases a battle cry, landing a solid blow. It claws and scratches, but he's steadfast in his resolve. In a rush of adrenaline, Ant grabs it tight and lifts it high above his head, tossing it clear across the room. The kid crashes behind the couch, out of sight. Donnie wobbles as he stands, clutching his bleeding arm. "Let's get the f*** out of here!" Ant shakes his head. "We have to finish the job, Don." Anthony slowly moves deeper into the dimly lit living room. He looks back. Don is leaning against the wall, wincing in pain. He continues on his mission and runs up on the couch. Nothing's there. The kid has vanished. "What the f***? It's gone!" Anthony turns back and sees the horror on Donnie's face. Then he sees the kid standing in the open doorway of his room. "Your soul will fuel the fires of the deep. My brethren will torment and drink from your wounds." The kid steps back, enveloped in the darkness. Ant moves toward the doorway, then stops just before entering. "You got my back, Asa?" Anthony hears a hiss, then looks down. A pale hand shoots out of the dark. It latches onto his ankle. Ant falls hard as he's dragged into the room. He screams, reaching out, "Donnie!" Then he's gone, vanishing into the abyss. "Please?" Anthony shrieks as the sound of ripping flesh resonates out. "Help me!" His cries turn to whimpers, then fade. Donnie trembles in fear. He snaps out of it and advances. The kid's voice is now monstrous, stopping Donnie in his tracks once more. "Run before I finish, then maybe you'll get away. If I catch you, I'll strip the strands of your arms bare with my teeth." Donnie stands at the edge of darkness. He looks back toward the front door swinging open in the wind. "Damn it, Anthony!" He rushes in, flipping the light on his way. Anthony lays face down in a pool of blood centered on the floor. He's not moving. The kid is nowhere in sight. Donnie moves to Ant, bending down and rolling him over. His eyes are closed, but he's breathing. A shadow moves behind Don, slamming the door shut. He stands, but the monster is on him before he can react. He yells as he's sent flying into the closet with a powerful blow. The door gives way when he hits, popping in at a slant. Donnie groans, slowly getting his bearings back. "You f***. I take shots like that for breakfast." Breathing heavily, Donnie struggles to his feet. In the closet beside him, he notices something gleaming out. It's a hatchet. The kid snarls from across the room and readies to pounce. Don holds the sharp, rusty hatchet high in the air and screams, "Get the f*** off me!" The kid opens its mouth, speaking in a strange old woman's voice. Donnie flinches at the unearthly sight. "If you knew how long and how much pain I have endured, you wouldn't take my only joy from me." "Go to hell, you f***ing demon!" Its voice changes to Hugh's. "The same hell I sent your friend to? He never did buy that coat, Donnie. He's so cold now." Donnie screams and storms at him. The kid swipes its claws, shredding his shirt and ribs. Donnie flails wildly. His hatchet hits the mark, sending 3 clawed fingers flying. The kid doesn't seem to mind and keeps up its attack. It launches up at his throat, snapping like a wild dog. Don swings again, clipping its face mid-air, knocking the creature aside. It falls in a slump, then stands. Its cheek is deeply lacerated. Its jaw seems to be hanging open. With his good hand, the kid pushes its mouth closed. It falls open again as soon as it lets go. Donnie looks on in horror. The black-eyed kid smiles, tilting its head at an unnatural angle, almost owl-like. "Frail little creature, do you fear me?" Donnie yells, bringing the hatchet down. The kid sidesteps, grabbing his wounded arm and squeezing. Blood flows out. Donnie grits his teeth one last time and buries the hatchet into the kid's temple. The thing doesn't seem to care. "My kingdom come. My will be done, on earth as it is in heaven." Donnie dislodges the hatchet and brings it down savagely again and again on the black-eyed kid's neck. It crumples in a heap as its head is finally severed. Don doesn't stop swinging. not until it's completely dismembered. He steps back exhausted. The stub of its neck sprays Anthony in spurts of crimson as it falls. Donnie grips the hatchet tighter, ready to strike again if need be. Holy shit, what the f***? Anthony twitches, then slowly rises into a kneeling position. He shakes his head wildly like a dog. His blood-soaked mohawk spatters red droplets all around. Anthony, that's you, right? He doesn't open his eyes. You killed the kid? Fuck. I guess I did. Anthony turns his head up toward the fluorescent bulb. Knew you'd have my back, bro. Yeah, anytime. Anthony reaches his arms out at both sides. Yeah, buddy. Brother from another mother, all day long. Donnie looks at the still twitching corpse of the kid. He gets to his feet and readies to strike. Anthony. Yeah, buddy. Open your eyes. Anthony looks to him with a sadistic grin. His eyes slowly begin to open.
Little foot